How sweet it is. This is a victory that cannot be denied. It is a victory of historical importance, not just to me, for my family, for my children, but for the independence of the UN system. I want to thank the United Nations, the Office of the High Commissioner on Human Rights, the Working Group of Arbitrary Detention, its jurists who made the determination, the Secretariat, and staff, and Human Rights Council.
That high ground is restricted to the first floor balcony instead. One step beyond review immediately.
This is a decision under international humanitarian law, binding covenants which the UK, Sweden and the United States, for the most part, have agreed to. The UN last night issued a statement stating that the determination is legally binding.
Yes. Bravo! Bravo!
There have been comments from Philip Hammond, the Foreign Minister of this country, today, saying this changes nothing. Philip Hammond, as an individual, I think he's a perfectly nice person, but we must understand that those comments are merely rhetoric. There is no argument in this changes nothing. It is not stating that the UK will pull out of the working group in its determination, or the Human Rights Council, or even that it refuses to recognise the result. The fact is, the UK and Sweden accepted to be parties to a 16-month process, 16 months of litigation before the Working Group on Arbitrary Detention. I made submissions. The UK responded in the process to those submissions. Sweden responded to those submissions formally as a party to the proceedings. They lost.
Yes. Bravo. Democracy is winning.
Sweden lost. It lost at the highest level. It then had an opportunity to appeal. The UK did not appeal. Sweden did not appeal. That opportunity was 2 weeks long and just ended today. Today is the day where there can be no appeal. No appeal was filed. Why was no appeal filed? The UK and Sweden have had this judgment for the past 2 weeks. I and the public received it today. They did not file an appeal in that 2 week period. Why? because they knew they would lose, because there are no grounds for appeal, because the law is well established and documented in this comprehensive, binding judgment by the Working Group on Arbitrary Detention. Now, this result, which lays out the circumstances and the law and the abuse of law behind my 5.5 years of detention without charge in this country, didn't come about by itself. It came about as a result of those UN mechanisms, the support for them, and as a result of people struggling for them. It came about as a result of government and people and president of Ecuador protecting me while we had that 16-month struggle. It came about as a result of the efforts of my legal team. It came about as a result of the efforts of the broad community in this country and in Sweden and the United States and in Australia and in India and other countries around the world. So let me read the conclusion from the judgment. The deprivation of liberty of Mr. Assange is arbitrary and in contravention of Articles 9 and 10 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and Articles 7, 9, Paragraph 1, 9, Paragraph 3, 9, Paragraph 4, 10 and 14 of the International Covenant of Civil and Political Rights, both binding treaties to which the UK and Sweden are parties. It falls within Category 3 of the categories applicable to the consideration of the cases submitted to the Working Group. The Working Group considers that, taking into account all the circumstances of the case, the adequate remedy would be to ensure the right of free movement of Mr. Assange and accord him an enforceable right to compensation in accordance with Articles 9, Paragraph 5 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights.
Bravo! Bravo! Bravo!
Now I don't, in some ways, having been involved in the exposure of corruption and war crimes in government for nearly 20 years, it doesn't come as a shock to see the type of injustice you've been in the business of exposing inflicted on yourself. That's part of my work. I am tough, I am hardened by this process, in fact, and I can take it. However, what right does this government, or the US government, or the Swedish government have to deny my children their father for 5.5 years?
Yes! Yes! Shame on our government!
Without
shame on United Kingdom!
Any charges in any country. That is a fact that I will never forget, and which must be addressed, and which will be addressed as time goes by. My children are completely innocent parties to what has happened. They are not in politics. They are not in politics. They are not in the business of holding government to account. They are in the business of being children. And it is time that they had their father back.
Yes, 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 yes. We demand the rights for Julian Assange.
And that will happen. And can someone close that person up? That will happen.
Where is it for
one
now?
way or the other. one way or the other, it will happen. And a lot of people have very long memories about the parties that have committed injustices in this case. And inevitably, those people will face the consequences of their actions, including, as of today and the release of this verdict, an opportunity under the CAT, the Convention Against Torture, which is a binding treaty with universal jurisdiction. If this illegal, immoral, unethical detention continues, there will be criminal consequences for the parties involved, and those consequences can be taken in any state because the CAT has universal jurisdiction. Now finally, I want to say that there are good people in the UK government. There are good people in the Foreign Office. There are good people in the British police. There are good people in the Swedish Foreign Ministry. There are good people in the US State Department. There are even good people in the US military. It is partly due to those good people and their ongoing support in a variety of ways that has led to this victory. And those people are wise to understand that history is on their side. And I'm very grateful for the assistance that they have given today. Thank you.
Julian, we are with you. I'm sorry. Julian, we love you.
Okay.
Can I get out? Sorry.
Thank you so much.
Sorry.
Julian, we love you.
Okay.
pueblo está contigo. Julian, amigo, el pueblo está contigo. Julian, amigo. Julian, amigo, el pueblo está contigo. Julian, amigo.
Oh, hello. Can I please speak to Hillary Clinton? I'm calling from the office of Julian Assange. It's very important. All of the US Department of State cables, we have intelligence that they are about to be put on the web, unredacted, not by us. This is an emergency. But when I say they're about to go, they are about to go. I don't think we have very long, so...
Just put him on. Who is he? Okay. Who is he?
Okay, let me put him on the phone to you. Hold on a moment. He's the senior watch officer. He won't give me his name.
Hello, who am I speaking to, please? G'day, Chad. This is Julian Assange. I would like to speak to the most senior person available who can execute an action quickly to send someone to location here in Norfolk where we can discuss details that cannot be discussed over the phone. To try to make it clear, we don't have a problem, you have a problem.